Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday morning. I'm so happy to be here yet another day. Just wanted to talk to you about a few things because I had some odd dreams last night, and I've had a couple more messages from people about dreams, and they're changing right now, I think, because of everything that's going on. So we're going to dig into that just a little bit this morning. So many of you may not know my practice in clinical hypnotherapy, and I've been at that for about 20 years now. And of course, I took it outside the box and use it here more creatively in a non-clinical way for exploring, journeying, quantum healing, past life regression, all of those fun, creative practices that help us with self-awareness and just in our healing processes. Plus, they're just fun. So I've studied a lot on the dreams as something between the ego and the id, like the conscious and unconscious self, and also as a spiritual application and how we can learn and grow from observing those patterns and things in our lives. So one thing for all of you to know that I noticed a few years ago in my practice was a higher percentage of people coming in to see me in the spring feeling out of sorts and dealing with past stuff. And that's an unusual observation, and I thought that at the time because spring is a time of opening up. Spring is a time when we are feeling better. We're coming out of this hibernation. Things are coming to life. There's more people around usually. So we have this concept, but what I started to understand when I started to question people was that in the spring we are often coming awake and we're starting to go through things, literal things, right? Real things. We're cleaning out the garage. We're going through photo albums. We're spring cleaning. We are moving things up and out. And we all know, I assume we all know, but as above, so below. So when we experience an external change, it will reverberate into the spirit to be experienced and rewired there. And as we experience internal changes and evolution and progression, that's also going to come out into our physical lives. So just know this time of the year, it's surprising, but you can actually be having some little extra releases, maybe emotions coming up from the past, little bouts of crying and emotional releasing that way, even little snippets of little angers and things that we feel from the past. So just know that's a natural release. Doesn't mean you're not getting over anything or dealing. Like, unless you're plotting against someone, then we should talk about something else. But what I'm saying is little stuff like that coming up and moving up and out, as uncomfortable as it is, it's a natural release process that I think happens in the spring for a lot of people. So when that's happening, conscious and unconscious, our dreams can change and shift. So I want you to know that so that if you're having those, you understand that you're okay. So then we have what I call these unconscious fear release dreams. And I think a lot of people are having those right now because we are facing fears that we haven't had before. There's a natural amount of fear in daily life that we are supposed to have. So when my older daughter first got her license and my younger daughter was still about 9 and they'd pop in the car on a snowy day to drive somewhere, it's a natural response for a parent to think, whoa, like my whole life is in that car. I hope they're okay. And we have these little thoughts of what if. That's natural. And then what we do is bring ourselves back to now, of course. It's like, is this real outside of that thought? I will cross those bridges if and when I get to them, but right now they're okay. So we go to that worst case scenario. That's the nature of the brain. And then we reel it back. So that builds up. Unconscious fear builds up after a while, and it can be triggered and released because of daily occurrences, like things that happen in our lives, sometimes just because it's time for it to come up and out. So when I was working on a missing persons case with a family of a little girl, she looked and was the exact same age and even had the same haircut as my daughter. So nightly, I would have dreams and nightmares that Jolie was running in traffic and I couldn't catch her, that I couldn't protect her. Those were increased fear release dreams because of the circumstances that I was in and the empathy I was having with the family, and the experience of being involved in that. So what that means is that we need to differentiate between a fear release dream and a precognitive or a psychic dream, because those do happen. And if you even have one of those where you think something or dream something and then it happens, and then we have a dream that somebody's died, it can be hard to differentiate. I just want you to know this. The universe isn't gonna just torture you with flashes of horrific events in the future, unless that's kind of what you're here to do. I see the odd tsunami and plane crash, no doubt about that. Train crash, things like that. So here's what I'm here to say. Look at those, understand next time you have a bad dream like that. Look at what's worrying you right now, whether it's your health or the health of your family or money. Look at what you're dreaming about. Are the dreams, are they nightmares because you're looking at maybe losing those things? And is that connected? Because oftentimes that's what you have going on. And then you can just lovingly say, I got you, unconscious. Thanks for, being concerned about me, but we're good. So not to worry as much about those. One other question was recurring dreams. And reoccurring dreams are like, our brains do have default settings. So it's like if you meet someone and you only meet them maybe once and you meet them in a particular place, there's a background there. And sometimes we take in that background and that initial experience and we will forever associate that imagery with that. Or it's like when you talk to people from public school and you still think they're 12 because you haven't seen them in 40 years. I'm not that old yet. 30 some odd years. So our brain doesn't do automatic updates. It has this default system, and our unconscious, remember, as above so below, our unconscious is the same. So it has these default places it goes to. There's a thing that I've discovered over my years in my study of what I call the house of lives. And some of us will have a house that we're in different dreams, and we play different things out in different rooms. It feels different all the time, but often there's that same template, like that you're back in that same place. So there's systems and imagery and things that our unconscious gives us. So our physical self that needs to exist with backgrounds can kind of have somewhere to play things out. Recurring dreams can also be kind of quantum, that it can be past life stuff from the past that we don't consciously remember, trying to move up and forward. Good memories or trauma or abuse or things like that can cause them. So again, in each case, there's many reasons. And if someone wanted something more specific, I'd have to know about the dream. But that can be, I say with everything, intuition, psychic insights, dreams, everything, go to the emotions and how it makes you feel first, and then go to the literal and metaphoric analysis, right? So if you're near water in a vision or a past life, number one, do you feel good or do you feel yucky? Number two, are you really around water? Or number three, are you near Waterloo? You see, these things are, analysis is critical thinking. Analysis of psychic insight and dreams, it's not woo-hoo. We see these visions, that we receive that information, and then it's critical, analytical, almost skeptical type analysis or thinking. And if you can remember to do that, then you'll manage to extrapolate or get all of the things out of those visions and dreams and insights that you're looking for. So there's my deep thoughts for the day. I just wanted to, I have to go. I just again wanted to say hi to everybody and answer those questions and tell you if you're having those dreams, the sky isn't falling. It's okay. It's just your unconscious doing what it needs to do, and your system doing what it needs to do. So stay wonderful and stay magical and keep loving one another and supporting one another. And I, again, will be back, no doubt. You've sent a lot of messages in with topics, and I don't like these to go too much longer than 10 minutes because I even can get bored of myself. But keep that up, and we'll see what comes up next. Anyway, have an amazing day. Enjoy your Tuesday, and we'll talk soon.